Well, we're turning now to the top story that we've been following all week. A man who spent the last 2 decades in prison for a rape and murder was supposed to be a free man today.
Yeah, but now Edward Kindt's release has been postponed. Tonight, we're learning more about what's next for Kindt's eventual release and legislation that could prevent this situation from ever happening again. Here's 2 on your side's Andy Payton.
Despite the announcement earlier this week that Edward Kindt would be walking free tonight, the convicted murderer and rapist remains behind bars following an outpour of outrage from community members and lawmakers.
My hope is we can reverse this altogether and keep him in prison where he belongs.
Yesterday, the New York Parole Board announced it would be reconsidering its recent 2-to-1 vote allowing for Kindt's release from Elmira Correctional Facility, citing pressure from the Western New York community in its decision. Kindt was scheduled to be placed in temporary housing in a motel in Westfield, but members of the community, including the superintendent of the Westfield Central School District, expressed concerns to lawmakers about the motel's location, putting a sexual predator within minutes of a school, marking the 3rd time Kindt's possible placement was impacted due to local concerns.
For sex offenders, it is incredibly limited what is around for available housing. And so this facility that they're sending him to is likely approved by state parole as meeting all of the requirements to house an individual with a sex offense.
While politicians remain adamant that Kindt should remain behind bars tonight, so does Penny Brown's family, as the victim's loved ones told 2 on Your Side earlier this week that they were left in the dark about Kindt's potential release and now delay, shining a light on an amendment to State Senate Bill 5316 that would create an appeals process so that victims' families can oppose a prisoner's release.
That bill, if it were to pass, would obviously require notification of families. I think that that's one of several things that should be done.
Tonight, I pressed State Senator Borrello on the lack of transparency from the parole board and potential additional legislation that would make all board meeting minutes available to the public within 24 hours, bridging that gap for victims' families. Is this something that you would propose?
Right now, I'm dealing with the current threat to my community, the community that I serve. Beyond that, yes, there will be more rules like this that will be proposed, rule changes and laws to ensure that this broken parole system is fixed.
Kindt will remain incarcerated while he continues completing community preparation, according to the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. An exact timeline for his release at this time is unknown. Reporting in the newsroom, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.